Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of my CCIE Enterprise Lab. So during the first video, I was able to configure the certificates and also install the CA, the root CA, and also establish the control connection between my controllers. In this case, something I found is I was using private IP. Right? I was using these private IPs, the 10.4, 10.5. There was no issue here because they know each other and they established the control connection. So of course, when I tried to onboard the CH2 from branch 2, I configured the VBON pointing to this private IP. So of course that won't work, right? Because that's a private IP, and basically what we're doing here is simulating the internet traffic. So those segments won't be part of the internet, right? So what I did was change to this public IP. So then the branch 2 was able to communicate with the VBON. Now, what happened next? The VBON will send the information about the controller and the manager, right? But it will use the private IP for that communication. So I got the same result, which is basically the CH couldn't really reach that specific IP because it's private. So what I did was change the configuration. The controller and the manager now they are using the public VBON IP address. So then the controller will reach the default gateway, which is the firewall, and this firewall will translate that communication, right, between private and public, and it's the same for the B manager. So I changed this configuration. Now it's pointing to the public IP, and then the firewall will do the NAT translation so they can establish a control connection, and the VBON will also send the information to branch 2 about public and private IPs. So it will know how to reach that specific device. Now, something that is missing here, and I will show you now, is that I don't have all the rules. I still need to create the NAT from the branch 2 CH2 to the Bismarck and also to the manager. But I would like to show you what is going on so you can double check. Also, I got this information from Cisco website, right, about the private public IP. So we would like to get something like this. Yeah, so let me show you the configuration that I have. Okay, guys, the configuration, it's different from my first video. This is what I would like to show you. Currently, the VBON, I'm using the private IP, is local. This configuration is the same, but the Bismarck and the manager, now they are pointing to the VBON public IP instead of the private IP. So basically, now they will try to send the information to the firewall, right? And the firewall will translate those packets. So I still need to enable this switch. What I would like to do is run a TCP dump so we can check the communication between these controllers, right? So if we go here to the be managed, show control connections, I think also the Bismarck, so control connections. I don't have control connections up. Let's run a TCP dump so we can understand what is going on. VPN 0, interface, internet 0. So here you can see that it will try to contact the default gateway, which is 254. TCP down, VPNs. Yeah, this will do the same, and the manager will do the same. So once we have that, let me just show you quickly the policies that I have because I also changed the policies here. So if you can see here now, I have 3 net rules, right? So this communication is to be managed, to be bound, right? So the source interface is the DMZ, this the source IP is the private IP, the be managed private IP, and the destination is the be bound or the public be bound IP, right? And it will translate that packet to the public we manage IP, and the destination will change to private IP. This is, I think it's called twice NAT. So I have this for be managed to be born, and I have the same for, let me show you, the be smart to the be bond. And I have one more that is coming from the CH. So I have a rule that will allow the communication from outside to DMZ, and the source can be any, and the destination is the public V-bound IP, and the destination is the DMZ, and it will translate to the private IP. So I need 2 additional NAT rules here, but I think you will see why you need it. That's my goal here, to show you why you need that. Let me start this device so we can see the communication between these 2 devices. I mean, between the controllers. You see now I have the SD1 switch as a CDP and the ARPs to the default gateway. And let's see what else. Let's wait for this. Okay. Okay, now here we can see the communication between the B bond and the B smart and the B and the manager, and you will see that now they are trying to establish those control connections. So let me stop this. So we can check what is going on. So let's check the B smart first, and then we can move to the B manage. So this is the B smart. So we can see here that 10.4 is the private IP, the B smart private IP, and then try to contact the B bond, right? This is the public IP. The B bond reply, we can see ICMP packet between them, and later you can see that this B smart try to establish those control connections. We can see the port here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then also the communication to be managed. So we should be able to see the control connections up. Control connections, right? And we can see that we have be managed and be bound, and it's up. And then you can see that it is the peer, the private IP is a public IP, but with the be managed is using the private IP. Let's see the manager show control connections, right? We can see that the B-Smart communication uses the private IP, and the B-Bond is using the public IP. You can see private IP is the same. So this communication is working. Now, what I would like to do is enable this virtual device. So you will see how this device can communicate with the B-Bond, but because we don't have all the NAT rules, it won't be able to establish control connection to the B-Smart or the manager. And I want to capture the traffic from this FTD device. So let me first, this traffic should come from the public IP. So 198.19.254.2. Okay, I don't know what happened here. It's this host 98.19.54.2. So this IP is this public IP, that 2, right? So we should see the traffic flow coming from this public IP. So let's see here. Let's see if we can identify what is going on. I want to see here. Okay, open this device. Okay, let's see. Okay, so as you can see here, the public IP is trying to communicate with the B-bond, right? You can see this IP, the B-bond reply, and then let's see. Okay. And then we can see here that the B-manage is trying to communicate with that device, but it's using the .5. So this device or the remote branch was able to communicate with the B-bond, right? But then it's trying to communicate with 10.5. And that is, we can see the public IP here, but we don't have the NAT rule to convert this public IP into a private IP. So that's the reason it's not working. So I still need to create the NAT from any source that is outside to this public IP or the public to the private IP, right? So that's the reason why it's not able to establish full connectivity with the B-manage. It's something that I will do, and let's see if that fixes the problem. Okay, guys, so after I add the missing NAT rules, you can see here that I create 2 additional NAT rules that basically are from outside to DMZ. So here you can see that the source is any and the destination is the public be managed IP, and the translation is to the DMZ, and the source is any and the destination it's the private be managed IP, right? And it's the same for the Bismarck. So after I completed this configuration, you can see, let me show you the branch 2 CH2 on the password here, and you can see show SD1 control connections, right? So you can see that now I have my control connections to Bismarck, to the B-bond, and also the B-manage, right? And you can see that in this case, we know the public IP and the private IP. So if we apply show SD1 control local properties, you can see the color here, right? And that was the configuration that was missing, those specific NAT rules. And also you can see from be managed GUI that now I have my branch 2 CH2 as part of the device list, and you can see the system IP and the site name and all that. Yeah, that's the only thing that was missing. In the next video, I would like to focus to the data center CHs because it will be a different approach. But for now, that's what I have, and thanks for watching.